Hey everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of my 3-part series on balancing chemical reactions. Here's another example. Zinc plus hydrochloric acid yields zinc 2 chloride plus hydrogen. My first step is to write down all my elements on both sides. Next, I'm going to find the total number of zinc atoms on both sides. On my reactant side, there is no subscript or coefficient stated, so both of them are understood 1. This gives me a total of 1 zinc atom on my reactant side of the equation. Now I can move to the product side of the equation. We once again have no subscript or coefficient, so again an understood 1 will go here too. Let's move on to our next element, chlorine. On the reactant side, there is not a subscript or coefficient, so we again have a total of 1 for our chlorine on the reactant side. On the product side, we have a subscript 2 and a coefficient of 1, so that gives us a total of 2 chlorine atoms on the product side. We need to make sure we make note of these for later. Our final element is hydrogen. On the reactant side, there's no coefficient or subscript, so this gives us a total of 1 hydrogen on the reactant side. On the product side, we have a subscript of 2 and an understood 1 as a coefficient, giving us a total of 2 hydrogens. Now, make note of the elements that are not balanced, starting with the chlorines. I have 1 chlorine on the reactant side and 2 on the product side. If I add a 2 as a coefficient in front of the hydrochloric acid on the reactant side, then it changes the total amount of chlorine I have on this side to 2, which makes my chlorines balance out. Since I put a 2 in front of this hydrochloric acid, my hydrogens are also affected. This allows me to change the 1 in my chart to a 2, which gives me a total of 2 hydrogen on the reactant side. Now everything matches up, we can say that this reaction is balanced. Zn plus 2HCl yields ZnCl2 plus H2. Now for our third reaction. Bromine plus potassium iodide yields potassium bromide and iodine. As we have in prior reactions, we start out by writing our elements. Next, we start with bromine on the reactant side, and we see that there is a subscript 2 and an understood 1 as the coefficient, giving us a total of 2 bromines on the reactant side. On the product side, we have understood 1 as a subscript and coefficient. This gives us a total number of 1 bromine on the product side. Next, we work with the potassium atoms. On the reactant side, there is a total of 1 potassium atom because there is no stated subscript or coefficient. On the product side, we have the same case, so there's a total of 1. Our last element we work with is iodine. On the reactant side, we have no stated subscript or coefficient, so the total for iodine is 1 on this side. On the product side, there is a 2 as a subscript and an understood 1 as the coefficient, so this leaves us with a total of 2 iodines on the product side. Now we can look and see what matches up and what doesn't. Currently I have 2 bromines on the reactant side and 1 on the product side. We also have 1 iodine on the reactant side while we have 2 on the product side. So let's start balancing this out with our bromines. In order to get 2 bromines on the product side, we are going to have to add 2 to the coefficient in front of potassium bromide. This gives us a total of 2 bromines on both sides, but it now also changes the number of potassiums on our product side. With a 2 as a coefficient, I know I have a total of 2 potassium atoms on the product side and 1 on the reactant side. In order to fix this, I'm going to have to put a 2 as a coefficient in front of my potassium iodide on the reactant side. This gives me a total of 2 potassium atoms on both sides, but it also affects my iodine. By filling in a 2 for the coefficient on the reactant side for iodine, I now have a total of 2 iodines on both sides of the equation. Now everything is balanced up and our new equation is Br2 plus 2Ki yields 2KBr plus I2. Thank you for watching this all the way to the end. Don't forget to hit that like or subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're one of my students or just want to watch related videos to this topic, click the playlist button on the right side of this screen. If you're just wanting to keep up with this channel, my latest video is going to be posted to the left of the screen. Once again, hey, thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for supporting me, and good luck this year in your classroom.